Alistair McLeod for a while has surmised that China has 38,000 tons of gold, 18 by the people and 20 by the state. This is a country that produces and accumulates more than anyone, and is very, very private about the way that they release their figures. I think it's very interesting. I think it is a country that realizes that the way that you become wealthy, the way that you have independence, is in holding gold. There's an old saying, "He who has the gold makes the rules." So, yeah, I think it's very enlightening. And when Russia removes the VAT tax, allowing their citizens to buy gold 20% cheaper than they ever could, China linking it and promoting it and prodding their citizens to accumulate it. The rest of the world understands the significance of gold because the rest of the world understands valuations, where people in this country only understand dollars, but everyone else has to convert to dollars first in order to buy certain things. And they understand what it means. They understand more than we do the exorbitant privilege that you would think we would be doing everything we could to protect, of being the world reserve currency. And so, yeah, it doesn't surprise me one bit. And it's equally as interesting that you're seeing a lot of the states in the United States do the same thing, not so much link it to a savings account, but in essence, alerting their citizens to the importance of owning gold, their constituents. And all these red states that are allowing gold and silver to be legal tender, I think we are seeing, as they say, history doesn't always repeat, but it rhymes. Gold and silver have been money for 5,000 years. We've gone through a long period of time where it hasn't been money, but it seems that trend is starting to come full circle again, whether it be in Texas or in Beijing. I mean, the gold is timeless, and silver is timeless, and it is wealth. And it does not surprise me one bit, nor does it surprise me that the country itself of China is continuing to voraciously accumulate all the gold and silver that they can accumulate. Gold has gotten a lot more attention. And I don't know why. I mean, look, whether it be the fact that the BIS looks at gold differently, maybe it's the fact that the central banks are buying more in the last 18 months than any time in history. Maybe it's because the banking system freaked people out so much that these very large orders are much easier to place in gold than in silver in terms of logistics, where you could have $100,000 worth of gold in your two front pockets and sprint to the car. Yeah, your pants may be hanging down a little bit, past your waist, but point of it is that you're talking 50 ounces or less, 48 ounces of gold that would weigh 3 pounds versus 240 pounds in silver. Well, what if it's $1 million? Now you got a ton of weight in silver versus a manageable 500 ounces of gold, which you could put in a briefcase and still sprint to your car. But you'd have to have a few wheelbarrows and 7 or 8 trips if it were silver, and then you'd be riding on the rim. So yes, I think their gold has kind of reawoken, if you will, on the retail side. It doesn't deduct from the fact that silver is still the best investment on the planet, in my opinion. And there are very few things that you can find that tick all the boxes. Depletion in geologic terms, in terms of its mining ratio, increase in demand in terms of its industrial applications, a huge swath of demand globally in monetary applications, and the demand and price half of its all-time high. So yeah, silver is, in my opinion, still the best place to be, and most people understand that. Very few people are only buying gold. They'll buy both. I would still say silver is outpacing gold sales 2 to 1 or better, maybe 3 to 1. But gold has experienced a kind of a rebirth in terms of its demand, because frankly, really since the pandemic, it would have been 7, 8, 9 to 1 silver to gold. No one was buying gold, and now all of a sudden, gold is being recognized again for its preservational purposes. Right now, we're going to keep everything pretty much status quo. I mean, look, until something happens that wakes up the public. Look, here's the bottom line. The smart money is front running. Look, the last 2 months, Chris, you have 230 million ounces in exchange for physical that was sent from the COMEX to the LBMA in what should normally be a very big delivery month here. They made it hush hush. You had 230 million ounces were delivered off the LBMA in exchange for physical. Big money is continuing to front run this, and there will come a time, where people wake up to some really crazy thing, and everyone in the mainstream is going to run to gold and silver, and that's how fast everything that is status quo becomes changed in the blink of an eye. Right now, it's, I guess you could call it, a kind of the quiet before the storm. We had quiet from the beginning, really from the end of Thanksgiving to first month of the new year, and it was quiet. And then we had the banks fail, and it got insane. Now it's quieted down a little bit. It's still busy. People are still trying to, those that are really still trying to get out of the banking system are awakened to this. But there's going to come a time when everything just goes parabolic. People need to understand it's very important to develop your core position before you start to time the market. Right now, premiums are good. I mean, relatively good. They're up higher from where they were a few months ago, but they haven't gone nuts like I would have expected. Availability is decent on most things and in stock. So it's kind of a weird time. Normally summer or leading into summer is, we call it the summer doldrums. You got Europe going on vacation. You got people, getting out and enjoying things. And especially after a couple of years of a pandemic, typically you would expect summer to be very quiet in this industry. And I think it will be anything but that. But for those looking to add to their gold and silver portfolio, to do what the rest of the world seems to be quietly doing and successfully doing and de-dollarizing, it's a good time to do it. We still have the kangaroos on special at $485 over spot, and they are in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So we'll keep doing the best we can to provide product, and our website is done. It is being soft launched in my office today. I hope to launch it to the public at the end of the week or Monday. It's done, and it looks great. I'll just leave it at that, where the light is at the end of the tunnel. So, but as far as premiums and price, yeah, nothing really to report substantive from last week. It's decent, availability is decent, and kangaroos 2023s in stock, 485 over. There are other things that are less money, but for a sovereign issued coin, realizing that a lot of these states, the verbiage that they are using for being legal tender in the state for all debts public and private, most of the states, the law reads any sovereign minted coin, so past or present. So getting some of these coins instead of rounds or bars, not a bad idea if you believe that, especially if you're in some of these states, that the trend continues here to move to allowing people, just like they're doing in China, to accumulate gold and silver for legitimate purposes.